Harlequin Intrigue and HarlequinAudio present Defended by the Bodyguard by Caridad Piñeiro. Performed by Marisa Blake. To my daughter Samantha, I am so proud of all you've accomplished and know you will do many great things. May little Axel bring you lots of joy and happiness. Chapter 1. Stars exploded across his vision as a fist connected with his left eye. Robbie Whitaker blocked the second blow with his forearm. As the man struck out again, years of training took over. Robbie swept aside the punch, flying toward his head, and delivered a sharp jab to the man's solar plexus. A pained grunt erupted from his attacker, and he stumbled back just as Celine Riley shouted out, "I'm calling 911." That dissuaded his masked attacker from continuing. Half bent, still in pain from Robbie's blow, he muttered a curse, whirled around, and ran off. Robbie was about to give chase when Celine laid a hand on his arm, holding him back. "You're bleeding," she said, face pale. Her bright, almost electric blue eyes were wide with a combination of fear and worry. The warmth of blood trickling down his face finally registered, as did the pain around his left eye and cheek. He brushed his fingers along his face, and they came away wet with blood. Blasting out an expletive, he glanced toward where their attacker had escaped and said, "You should have let me follow him." Celine shook her head so vehemently that it made the locks of her dark, nearly seal-black hair dance across her shoulders. "It's too dangerous, especially since we now suspect that someone is after you and your sister Sophie." He hated to admit that she was right, but since their investigation into his parents' kidnapping had revealed that his sister Sophie and he were the new targets, he had to be more cautious. But there was something about this attack that niggled at his gut. He could have sworn that the curse the man had muttered had been directed at Celine. Plus, if someone had wanted him dead, it would have been easy to take a shot at him as they walked down the street toward the condo where Celine lived, or knife him as they came close enough for that punch that had surprised him. A hands-on attack like this one struck him as far more personal. He kept that to himself as he said, "You're right. Let's head to your condo." "Ria's condo. She's just letting me stay there while I decide what to do," Celine said, and walked beside him for the short walk to the building that housed Celine's twin sister's condo and art gallery. "It's nice that you have her support. Family is so important," he said, familiar with the tragedy that had touched Celine's life. His cousin Jackson, then a detective in Regina, had brought his sister Sophie and him into the investigation surrounding Celine's disappearance over a year earlier. "It is. I don't know how I would have gotten over the kidnapping and stuff without Ria and Jax," Celine said, voice choked with emotion at the memory of what had happened. "Now we're family too, since Jax married your sister," he said. He held back from asking for more information, since it must be upsetting to discuss her abduction and abuse. Instead, he turned the discussion to a happier topic. "I hear your music career is doing well here in Denver." A ghost of a smile drifted across her lips, and her eyes lost some of the pain that had darkened them just seconds before. "It is. I've had lots of gigs at a well-known bar, and my songs and album are selling well. I even have a producer who's interested in my work." He continued the discussion on her singing career as they walked the final block to the condo, but he kept an eye open for any signs of danger. He'd obviously been lax before, and he wasn't about to let another attack happen on his watch. Barely a few minutes later, they were at the front door to the small condo building above Ria Whitaker's art gallery. "I understand you work part-time in the gallery when you're not singing?" he said as Celine used a keycard to open the condo's front door. "It's the least I can do to help my sister, after all that she did to reopen the case about my disappearance. And I'm so happy that she found Jackson. They're so good together." He was grateful as well. He'd never seen his cousin so happy, especially as
Sample complete. Ready to continue?